for total bypassing of grief, removing all pains and discontent, to attain the right path and to witness the Nibbāna, namely the four foundations of Sati. Here Buddha is very clearly saying there is only one way, no other way. There is only one way, O monks, for purification of beings. So you understand here, the whole purpose of life is to purify ourselves. Okay? And there is one way, only one way to purify ourselves. For total bypassing of grief. Because once you're purified, there is no way that you're going to suffer. Because a pure person can never suffer. Okay? So namaste and good morning everyone for our special session that we do on every Saturday. This is the practice day that we call, and here at the studio in Pune, we do teach Sunya on Saturday free for all to come and practice and also learn. Along with that, we also now are teaching the Satipatthana Sutta. Basically, this is the second episode. Last week, we did cover up the first part of the Sutta. And this week, we are going to take the second part of it. We're going to do the discussions on the Satipatthana Sutta, and we will also revise a little bit what basically we covered in the last episode. We have practiced Sunya so that now we can focus our mind on the understanding, or while we study the Satipatthana Sutta, we will try to understand what lies in the meaning of this Sutta and why was this Sutta taught to us. It is a very, very important sutta. Now, the reason I'm calling it sutta is because we need to give credit to the Pāli literature, which held forth this sutra for so long. And in Pāli, the sutra is called as sutta. And it basically is called as the Satipatthana Sutta, but it is also known as Smriti Prasthan Sutra in Sanskrit. This sutta has been translated as it is by our very, very loving teacher, Dhyanacharya Nagajiva or Dr. Lim. And he has translated this, and we have a very, very simplistic version of it. There's no effort in trying to put commentary in it. We kept it as simple as it is and as it should be, okay, with no add-ons. And now when we study, we try to understand it based on our understanding. So we are studying this sutra, okay? I'm not teaching it. We are studying it together. Okay, so let's go and revise what we did last week. As we know, the first thing always the authentic sutra starts with is the statement that says, "Thus have I heard." Means this is what the one who wrote it down has heard. And so he wrote it down. So these were live note-taking sessions that were happening when Buddha was teaching. And the one who wrote it down used to always start like saying, "Thus have I heard." Okay. Once Bhagwan in Kuru at the market town of Kamasadama. Now they are giving the location. Once, that means there was a time frame when it happened. Bhagwan in Kuru. Kuru is a place in North India. There was a market town called Kamasadama. So Bhagwan was there. There Bhagwan addressed the monks. Monks, and the monks replied back, "Venerable Sir," responded the monks to Bhagwan, "there is only one way, O monks, for the purification of beings, for total bypassing of grief, removing all pains and discontent, to attain the right path and to witness the Nibbāna, namely the four foundations of Sati." Here Buddha is very clearly saying there is only one way, no other way. There is only one way, O monks, for purification of beings. So you understand here, the whole purpose of life is to purify ourselves. Okay? And there is one way, only one way to purify ourselves. For total bypassing of grief. Because once you're purified, there is no way that you're going to suffer. Because a pure person can never suffer. Okay? So for total bypassing of grief and removing all pains and discontent. Because you're pure, you're purified, There is no way that you can have grief or can have pain or discontent in your life. To attain the right path and to witness the Nibbāna. So, after your purification, that will be the right path you will attain, and you will achieve witness the Nibbāna. So, you will witness the Nibbāna. Okay, that means the whole nirvana that will happen to you, that liberation that will happen, you will achieve a kind of a state, or I would not say achieve, you will come to that state of purified state of yourself, that you will experience or witness nirvana itself directly. Okay, namely the 4 foundations of sati. So which are these, which is the way through which one can purify? There are the 4 foundations of sati, means smriti. Now, smriti, we remembered, is memory, okay, remembrance. So, here, the 4 foundations of smriti. Which 4? Right here, O monks. A monk observes the body as just the body. Focus, fully aware, observance, having removed the greed and sorrow from this world. The first foundation is the body itself. Okay, he observes the body as just the body. He observes the feeling as just the feeling. Focus, fully aware, observance, having removed the greed and sorrow from this world. That is the second one, feelings. The third one, third foundation, he observes the mind as just the mind. Full focus, fully aware, observance, having removed the greed and sorrow from this world. He observes the Dhamma as just the Dhamma, the fourth foundation. Focus, fully aware, observance, having removed the greed and sorrow from this world. Then the sutta goes on to expound what basically is the body, the first foundation. So the body is not just, even though it is considered as one, it is different things coming together. The first thing of this body is breathing. So on breathing, and how, O monks, a monk observes the body as just the body? So the question Buddha asks is, so how will one observe the body as just the body? First thing first, breathing. Here, O monk, a monk goes to a forest or sits under a tree or goes to an empty hut. He sits down, crossing his legs, adjusting the body upright, and focuses around the mouth. He observes the inhales and exhales of breathing. Just observes, okay? He doesn't saying that he does. He just observes. Breathing out long, he knows I breathe out long. Breathing out short, he knows I breathe out short. Breathing in short, he knows I breathe in short. Breathing out short, he knows I breathe out short. Calming down the breathing, I will breathe in, he practices. Calming down the breathing, I shall breathe out, he practices. Quietening down the breathing, I shall breathe in, he practices. Quietening down the breathing, I shall breathe out, he practices. So basically, he is now only cultivating awareness of the breath, and the breath keeps on changing. So all of you who are practicing Sunya can see how the breath, initially is long, there is a lot of noise, and it keeps on changing. It becomes soft, it becomes short. It changes according to your mind. When the mind changes, the breath changes. Okay, so breath is just the reflection of the state of mind. Remember this. When you get angry, when your mind is actually agitated, how does your breath go? This is how the breath works. When you're at peace, happy, then you feel. So your breath is just the reflection of the mind. So you observe the body as just the body by observing the breath. Just as though, O monks, a turner or a turner's apprentice, when turning long, he knows I'm turning long. When turning short, he knows I'm turning short. So basically a turner, when he's working on his machine, he knows what he's doing. When he's turning it long, he knows he's turning it long. When he's turning it short, he knows he's turning it short. So too, O monks, a monk breathes in long, he knows I breathe in long. So a monk who's practicing Sunya, he knows when he's breathing in long, he knows that it is long. When his breath is short, he knows that it is short. Why? Because he's looking at the breath. Second, physical body. Thus, feeling inward, he looks at the body as just the body. Feeling outward, he looks at the body as just the body. Feeling inward and outward, he looks at the body as just the body. Then after breathing, the second thing, how do you look at the body? You look outward, you see this body. Then you look inward, you see the body. Looking inward and outward, you see both. So this is how you keep your awareness of your body. This happens when the way you sit, the way you carry yourself, okay, all those things. Then you should also know your anatomy, which organ is where, okay. Otherwise people say they know the heart is here, but when you tell the liver, they point it somewhere here, but here is not the liver, here is the spleen and here is the liver. You should know your anatomy. So this is very, very important that you should be aware of your body, both inside and out. He looks into the body and sees the appearance of Dhamma. He looks into the body and sees the cessation of Dhamma. Now, when I am saying Dhamma here is that when he looks at the body, he sees that there is pain in my body, there is itching in my face. This is all the things that are happening in the body. He can know that, and he knows that it comes and even it goes. Okay. Without exertion, he looks at the body just sufficient for the insight into the body. He just looks at it. He doesn't do anything. When I'm sitting for too long, my legs get numb. So I know that it is getting numb. If I sit for too long, it still gets more numb. I know it is getting more numb. So only knowing and observing, that is the way you practice the observation of your body as just the body. He detaches himself and does not take up anything in the world. Just so, O monk, a monk looks into the body, observing body just as it is. So that's how you observe the body. By breathing, by looking at the body, by what is happening in the body. And fourth is by postures. Again, O monks, when a monk is walking, he knows I am walking. When he is standing, he knows I am standing. When he is sitting, he knows I am sitting. When lying down, he knows I am lying down. Whatever are the activities of body, likewise he knows. So, when he is practicing the observation of the body, he should know what he is doing with the body. Otherwise, people come to lectures, they sit, they don't realize they are sitting. By the time they realize, they are already sleeping. Okay, because they don't know what they are doing with the body. So, after some time, when you tell them to sit like this, after some time, they are already like this in different position, because they don't have the awareness of the body. So, your posture also plays a very important role. Hence, in Sunya, the way you sit matters. Okay, and you should know when you're, slothing down, you're bending like this, or drowsing, where your head is going like this, or it is going like this, or like this. You should know your posture. Very, very important. Activities. Furthermore, O monks, a monk goes forwards or goes backwards. He knows it closely. When looking forwards, looking behind, he knows it closely. When bending and stretching out, he knows it closely. When maintaining his robes and bowls, he knows it closely. While eating, drinking, savoring, he knows it closely. While defecating and urinating, he knows it closely. When walking, standing, sitting, lying, awaking, speaking, in silence, he knows it closely. Means he knows what this body is doing, even the activity. Otherwise, people don't even realize, I had a bad habit of biting my nails. Only when people used to tell, hey, don't bite, then only I used to realize, what am I doing, Now, whenever I sit, when my hand goes here, I ask, why are you going? Go down. I have to talk to it, tell him, don't do this activity. So, this is called cultivating awareness of the body. Then scanning the body. Furthermore, O monks, a monk up from the sole of the foot, down from the hair of the head, looks at his body, at this body, full of impurities. Enclosed by skin, there is in this body the hairs of the head and body, the nails, the teeth, the skin, the muscle, the bone, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, the pleura, the spleen, lungs, colon, intestine, stomach, feces, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, lymph, tears, fat, saliva, snot, body fluid, urine. He should know everything what is happening. Okay, when they are eating, when you're seeing, when saliva is coming out, he should know that saliva is coming out, not that somebody else removes it. He should know what is happening to his body. Even the physiology he should know, along with the anatomy. Just as though, O monks, from a two openings bag full of various grains, This man endowed with eyes, having the bag loose, is to investigate it. These are the fine rices, these are the paddy's rice, these are peas, these are beans, these are sesame, these are husked rice. So it's like two bags of grains full of, two bags full of grains. One who has eyes, he should observe like that. What is inside? Which is one is peas, which one is rice. He should be able to sort. So with these two eyes, you should scan your body and you should know which one is what, why it is happening. Okay. Otherwise, people are so lost and not aware of their own body things, and that is why they fall sick. Because only when the problem comes later, they realize. It's like you don't even have the sense and the feeling because you don't have the scanning ability. And because you don't have the scanning ability, you don't even realize that big sickness is coming. People actually are going when they are having their kidneys checked up nowadays. When they go, they realize my one kidney is already gone. Only one is working. For so many years, they did not even realize, because they never even thought why my urine went slow. Why did my urine have? They just were so much lost in their life. They never even scanned their own body. So very, very important, no? Moving forward, elements. Furthermore, O monks, a monk looks at this body in terms of the elements. There is in this body the element of earth, the element of water, the element of fire, the element of air. Just as though, O monk, a skilled butcher or a butcher's apprentice, having killed a cow, was to sit down in the great crossroads, butcher it into portions. Like a butcher who cuts pieces of meat, he knows what is cut and which different parts are there. A person should know that our body is made out of the 5 elements. We call it the Pancha Mahabhuta. These 5 elements, they constitute. So you should know that this is the earth element, like the bones. This is the water element, like the blood. This is the fire element, like your acid that your stomach secretes. And then you should know all these elements. You should know which one is air. Okay, only when you know your elements, you will see the body as elements. So then further, they go on to describe the body in more detail, like the corpse in 9 decaying stages. Okay, a dead body. Now, how do you see? You should realize this body is not permanent. It keeps on changing. And one day it is all going to go away. But it's not going to go like that. Because when you talk to people, they say, so what? Body is there. We'll see when death comes. No, death is coming every day. You see yourself deteriorating every day. You know that it is not going to come one fine day. It is already started. When you were born, you were already started to deteriorate. You're growing to a particular level and then you start deteriorating. If you're not aware, you'll deteriorate faster. And you should know that. And this is a little, I mean, when I say a little scary, but this scary thing also gives you awakening, It makes you believe that, this body that I think it's me can actually just disintegrate like that and become dust. So you'll see. So he says, 1, the dead body. How do you know this body, your body and the other person's body is same? When you look at a dead body. Again, O monks, just as though a monk may see a corpse in a charnel ground, 1 day dead, or 2 days dead, or 3 days dead, bloated, blue-colored, turning to pus. He focuses this very body. Indeed, even so, this body is the same. It will be inevitable and there is no escape from it. Looking at a dead body, he knows the way this dead body is lying. One day I will also be like that. Eaten by animals. Again, O monks, just as though a monk may see a corpse in a charnel ground being eaten by crows, by hawks, by vultures, by herons, or being eaten by dogs, by tigers, jackals, by various creatures. He focuses on this very body. Indeed, even so, this body is the same. It will inevitable, and there is no escape from it. Someday my body will be lying like that. What I see right now, eaten by animals. Some animal will eat my also body. I realize that. Bones with flesh and blood. Again, O monks, just as though a monk may see a corpse in a charnel ground, the dead body has become a chain of bones with flesh and blood tied by tendons. He focuses on this very body. Indeed, even so, this body is the same. it will be inevitable and there is no escape from it. So now they are talking about stages in which the body is disintegrating. Okay, this was the chain of bones with all the muscles and everything. Then it goes further, bone with blood without flesh. So we have covered this in the last session. So bone without flesh and blood. Then we saw scattered bones. Okay, then we saw the bone turned white. Then we saw dusty heap of bones. We covered this all last time in detail. 9, rotten to powder, means finally the body just becomes white powder. You can imagine that is how it is, and we all know that this is the body. So this is what we covered last time, and today we are going to take this session forward, and we are going to now look at the second foundation of sati, and that is the feeling. So now, first foundation, you understood the body, how to look at the body, how to scan it, how do you walk, how do you do everything. You should keep continuously, you should look at your body, how you sit, how you talk, what do you do, how you behave. It's a complete personal development program by awareness, if you look at it. And so, be aware of your body. Don't let this body disintegrate like this. If your weight is increasing, you will know that very early that you're becoming lethargic, you're getting tired. Early, the better you scan, and then you know, no, I need to now start working out. The earlier you start, the early stage you start taking care of your body, it will not progress to a condition where it cannot reverse it. Okay, so now let's go to the second foundation, and that is the feeling. And how, O monks, a monk observes his feelings as it is. O monks, when a monk senses a pleasant sensation, he knows this is a pleasant sensation. Feeling a painful sensation, he knows this is a painful sensation. Sensing neither pleasant nor painful sensation, he knows this is neither painful nor pleasant sensation. Sensing pleasant sensation in the bodily touch, he knows this is pleasant bodily touch. Sensing painful bodily touch, he knows this is painful bodily touch. Now here they are explaining how you look at feelings. When a monk, that means when you are practicing or when you are living your life, this second foundation of feeling is very important. You should observe the feeling as a feeling. When you like something, you feel good with some pleasant feeling. This feeling, you should know, I like this, I feel good with this particular feeling. When you look at something which is not making you good, you should see that as a feeling. This feeling is come because I don't feel good with this. It's not me, it's my feeling that is making me feel like that. It's not good. Sometimes you may not feel pleasant, neither will you feel the pain. At that time, you should have that understanding, it is neither pleasant, neither painful. How does he do that? For example, touch. When there is a touch, if you touch a silk cloth, you know this feeling is soft and pleasant and you like it. Then you touch something like which is rough. You know the pleasant feeling is not pleasant, it's rough. You should know that it is because I'm touching which is rough. This feeling is changing because the cloth that was like silk was soft and I felt good. When I touched something that was rough, I felt something different. I felt the pain. So, depending on the thing that these senses interact, your feelings keep on changing, and you should know and be aware of this. And do not get attached to your feelings also. Okay, the feeling. Then we go, thus he senses a feeling, thus he senses into feeling, observes feeling internally. Now, he senses his feeling, then he observes his feeling internally also he observes. He senses his feeling, okay, observes feeling externally, only externally also he observes. Means sometimes you touch something like the silk cloth, you touch, oh, you feel nice, soft. Then you feel, oh, inside also you're feeling good, outside also you're feeling good. Okay, then you touch something rough, then you say, oh, outside I feel pain, internally also I can realize there is pain. So, he observes that. He senses feelings internally and externally. So, you should sense both. Okay. He senses into the feeling that has appeared. Now, he senses that this was not there, it has come. I am smelling. Okay, I was just not, it was no smell was there. Then suddenly a smell of rose came in. Then I should know the smell of rose came in. I should sense that feeling. Suddenly some dirty smell came in. I should sense that dirty smell. So I should be aware of that. Okay. And he senses into the feeling that has ceased. When the smell goes away, when the silk cloth goes away, he knows it has gone away. The feeling has gone away. When it comes, he should know. When it goes, he should know. When it is external, he should know. When it is internal, he should know. He focuses just sufficiently for insight and observation of the feeling. And how does he practice? Just sufficiently. Not with, let me see what smell it is. This is not how you practice. You just observe. It will come. You could sense it. Okay? Because when you have to smell something, you don't need to take deep breaths to smell. You have to always smell it as it is. Right? If you have to touch something, you cannot touch silk throat like this. Right? You have to touch it the way it is. Okay? So, everything has to be done sufficiently. Okay? And then observation of the feeling. And then you observe the feeling that comes because of your insight or looking into things sufficiently. He detaches and does not take up anything in this world. See, very, very important. He does not attach to the feeling. He detaches and does not take up anything of this world. Meaning he does not take up anything in this world. When he says anything in this world taking up is having a fixed idea or concept. Just so, a monk senses and observes the feeling. This is how a monk, a shunyati, should observe the feeling and sense it. That's how feelings are. So we covered the second foundation, that is feelings. We've covered the first one in the last session, the body. This time we covered feeling. Feelings is very easy. Today, people do not even feel. We say they have lost the sense of feeling. Okay. When they see that something, so now here you have to understand. My feelings are based on situation. Because situations change, my feelings change. And it is okay. I observe them as a third person, just see them happening to me. They come and they go. Now I am happy when that thing is there. When the thing goes away, I'm sad. It's okay. It was dependent on that thing. It was not dependent on me. It is not me. It was that thing that I did, right? I was engaged with. So very, very important. Now we go to the third one, the third foundation of the Smriti. That is the mind. And yet, O monks, how does a monk observe the mind as it is? We have seen how to observe the body as it is. We saw how to observe the feeling as it is. Now, how to observe the mind as it is. Here, O monks, a monk with passion, he knows the mind is with passion. Without passion, he knows the mind is without passion. With aversion, he knows the mind is with aversion. Without aversion, he knows the mind is without aversion. With delusion, he knows the mind is with delusion. Without delusion, he knows the mind is without delusion. Now, very, very important. This is where people completely lose the sense. When you see your mind, you should know that I am too excited, I am passionate about this thing, and you should see that passion. And you should know that this passion has come in me. And when you are not having passion, you have no passion left, or without any passion, no feeling, not feeling. It's the mind, the state of the mind where the mind is having no passion, no energy to do something. You should know that, I've become lethargic. I'm doing nothing. I'm wasting my time. Not that somebody else comes and tell you, you're wasting your life. You're doing nothing. You should realize it yourself. Okay. Then when you have aversion, you should know that your mind is averting something. It does not like something. Okay. When you have no aversion, if you don't like something, that also you should know that you don't like something. So liking something, disliking something, you should know that this is the state of your mind. Okay. Again, depending on the situations that you are interacting with, the circumstances you're interacting with. With delusion, we know that the mind is deluded. When you get confused, when you're deluded, when you're lost, you should know, hey, right now I'm confused, I'm lost. People don't say that. Even though they are confused, they don't even realize, excuse me, sorry, I'm not understanding a single word. I'm completely confused. Can you repeat this for me again? Nobody says that. But this is very important that you should know that that is a state of mind. It's not putting you down. It's just telling you this is the state of mind. If you cannot smell the rose, everybody saying I can smell the rose, you should say, hey, sorry, I don't know, I cannot smell the rose. That's okay. You should know and be aware of what your senses are doing. Okay, what is your state of mind? So without delusion, he knows it is without delusion. When the mind is in focus, he knows the mind is in focus. Again, when I'm doing my 9 to 0, when I lose the count, I know I lost the count. When I know I have not lost the count, I know I have not lost the count. When I don't lose the count, I know I am in focus. When I have lost the count, I know I have lost the focus. You should know that. When the mind is loose, he knows the mind is loose. My mind, pervert, loose, it thinks dirty things. You should know that. Before somebody else tells you what a pervert you are, what a loose mind thinking you are, before somebody tells you, you should know that. Because it is your mind. Okay? When the mind is expanded, he knows the mind is expanded. When he knows that, suddenly my mind has expanded, he should know, now I'm thinking big. I have now bigger responsibility. I want to do big. He should know that. Okay, not somebody coming and telling you, what are you doing? Do something big in life. What are you wasting your life? He should know it, not somebody else coming and telling you. When the mind is contracted, he knows that his mind is contracted. When the mind is surpassed, he knows the mind is surpassed. When the mind is unsurpassed, he knows the mind is unsurpassed. When the mind is concentrated, he knows that the mind is concentrated. When the mind is not concentrated, he knows that the mind is not concentrated. When the mind is released, he knows that the mind is released. When the mind is not released, he knows the mind is not released. So here it's talking about the different states of the mind, and whatever the mind is doing, you should know this and you should observe this as an act that your mind is going through. In this way, he remains focused internally on the mind as it is. Because of this, cultivating this smriti or sati or on this foundation, he knows what his mind is doing internally, okay, or externally the mind as it is. Now, mind works internally through thoughts and ideas and concepts, and externally using the senses to grasp everything out there. You should know how your mind is doing, what it is doing, okay. So, or both internally and externally on the mind as it is. Sometimes you have both. When you look at something, you also have a thought. So all these things you should know. Now, if I look at somebody who has hurt me in the past, I look at him, I see my mind bringing those thoughts of the past in front of me. Also, I see that now I see him, he still brought some knife to kill me. I should have that sense, Then, based on that, I should act. Because I can see the mind. Mind is telling me what it is. Sometimes he's bringing a flower, but my mind is telling you, this is the same person who, tortured you. Don't take the flower and all those things. You should observe. Don't listen to the mind. Look at the situation. Maybe the person has come to seek forgiveness. You can forgive. You see, when you look at the mind. So, otherwise you will just react in anger or frustration or something of the past. Or he remains focused on the origination of the mind, on the passing away of the mind, or on the origination and passing away with regard to the mind. Even the mind, when the mind originates, when I say mind originates means it starts doing its job. What's its job is either thinking, okay, bringing in thoughts of the past, or engaging in the sensual experiences as an experience itself. So, when it does this, you should know my mind has come. Here my mind has gone. Okay. When the mind comes, mind goes. Sometimes it comes and goes. We should know. Sometimes it stays. We should know that. Or he senses that there is a mind is maintained just to the extent of knowledge and remembrance. Even if he can sense that there is a mind, okay, and is maintained with just to the extent of knowledge and remembrance, means you're doing nothing, but still there is a mind which has the ability to hold on to knowledge and remembrance. You should know that. You should be aware of that mind. And he remains independent, detaches and does not take up anything in the world. Even with the mind he is not attached. Uses the mind only for the acts that he needs to. So, It should not be the mind is thinking for him. He should engage the mind to think. Okay. And that can happen when he is the controller, not the mind controlling him. So here he says, and he remains independent, not the slave of the mind. He remains independent, detaches and does not take up anything in the world, does not hook up to any fixed ideas and concept in the world. This is how a monk remains focused on the mind as it is. Okay. Then we go to the fourth one. Right? Fourth, right? Yeah. So we finish the body, we finish the feeling, we finish the mind. Now we are going to the fourth foundation, that is Dhamma. Now the Dhammas. Now Dhammas basically is the law and order or the nature of things. Now here we are starting with 5 hindrances. And how, O monks, a monk focuses on the Dhamma as it is. How to focus on the Dhamma as it is. Here, O monks, a monk focuses on the Dhamma and observes Dhamma in regard to the 5 hindrances. And how, O monks, a monk focuses on Dhamma and observes the Dhamma in regard to the 5 hindrances. Now here it is very clearly how to observe Dhamma. Dhamma can be observed in regard to the 5 hindrances. He is giving an example. Let's say the Dhamma in regards to 5 hindrances. So in 5 hindrances, how to observe it as it is. First, the first hindrance is the sensual desire. So he's talking about this. And I have covered this 5 hindrances very much in detail in the episodes on the same page. You can actually go and look into this. Here we'll only keep it to the point of Satipatthana Sutta. So sensual desire, the first one. Here, O monks, a monk having sensual desire, he knows I have sensual desire. When there is no sensual desire, he knows I have no sensual desire. He knows how sensual desire has arisen. He knows how the sensual desire has ceased. And he knows there is no future arising of the sensual desire that has been detached. Very important here. We all have desires. Now, you need to classify your desire. I want to have a car. It's because my car is going to give me a nice feeling and it's a sensual desire. Now, I should know when this desire came. Did it come because I saw somebody's car? Did it come because now I have a lot of wealth, I need to have one? Did it come because I want to showcase to the world? Or did it come because I need it? You should know that. Why did it come? When did it come? Then, when it does not come, you should know that there is no sensual desire. You should know that why it does not come, because maybe you have that idea of it. But if you don't get, you should know. If you get, you should know. Okay. And when did it arise? When did it cease? Sometimes you get a desire, but the desire also goes away. You look at a man with a beautiful car and you wish you should have a car. Then after some time you see the responsibility of your life and you realize, no, this is not important. Having 2 times meal given to the poor people is more important. So I don't want. So your desire came, your desire went. So it was born, it died. You should know that. You should be able to realize when this is happening. And he should be detached from this sensual desire. That is the first thing. So that is how you observe the Dhamma of sensual desire. Okay, the nature of sensual desires. Desires will come. You should just observe it. Okay. Here, O monks, a monk having ill will, he knows I have ill will. Where there is no ill will, he knows I have no ill will. Sometimes we have jealousy, anger, all the ill will, hate. We know and we should know that, hey, I have that kind of envy. I'm jealous of this person. It's okay to know. Okay. And now, no, I'm not jealous of somebody. It's okay to even not be jealous of something. You should know what your state is, your state of your hindrances. He knows how ill will has arisen. He knows, jealousy came because of this. He should know that. And he knows how the ill will was seized. I was jealous, but then I don't know. It just got over. I should know when it got over also. And he knows there is no future arising of ill will that has been detached. And he should also know that there is no seed left, that in future I would again have that ill will arise. You know, see, people live their whole life hating somebody, having, bad thoughts about some people. And it becomes so difficult for them to live. Every day, I remember one person who every day morning used to get up and only curse the person who had spoiled his life. Every day. The only thing he used to not even pray for himself. He used to say, that person's life should become miserable. He should suffer. Please, please do that. Every day he used to worship or pray and only have that ill will. Until finally he meets somebody who says, I'm sorry, I'm already in pathetic situation. At that moment, it goes away and he wishes good for that person again. You see, you should know when it came, you should know when it went. You should also know that there is no more seed left for it to come back again, both for your sensual desire and your ill will. Okay, this is how you observe the Dhamma of the 5 hindrances as it is. Then we go to the third hindrance, sloth and drowsiness. Here, O monks, a monk having sloth and drowsiness, he knows I have sloth and drowsiness. When there is no sloth and drowsiness, he knows I have no sloth and drowsiness. He knows how sloth and drowsiness has arisen, and he knows the sloth and drowsiness has ceased. And he knows there is no future arising of the sloth and drowsiness. I think there is a typing mistake here. But sloth and drowsiness, you should know that these hindrances are states of your mind. When they come, when you feel drowsy, you should know that you're feeling drowsy. When you feel lethargic, physically, mentally lethargic, you should know that you're feeling physically, mentally lethargic. You should know why it came. Maybe yesterday night you had a party and that is why you're tired today. You should know that. Because if you know that, then you can act. You can take a good sleep and refresh yourself and then again go back to work. If you don't even know that, then you're in a problem. So sloth and drowsiness, when it comes, you should know. When it goes, you should know. How it comes, you should know. How it goes, you should know. There should be a reason also when there is no seed of sloth and drowsiness left, because now you have become a disciplined person, never to do this again. Then you will never again suffer from sloth and drowsiness and you will always be active. So you should know this. Okay, this is the third hindrance that of the Dhamma, that you observe Dhamma as it is. The fourth one, restlessness and anxiety. Here, O monks, a monk having restlessness and anxiety, he knows I have restlessness and anxiety. When there is no restlessness and anxiety, he knows I have no restlessness and anxiety. He knows how restlessness and anxiety has arisen, and he knows how restlessness and anxiety has ceased, and he knows there is no future arising of restlessness and anxiety that has been detached. Again, you should know when you're restless, you're not feeling comfortable. When you know there is anxiety, you should know when it came, why it came, what was the preceding cause, why it came. You should know that it came and with this it goes away. You should know that it came, it went away, and there is no more chance now in future it can come again. You should know, or there is a chance that it will come again. Next time again, I'll feel like anxious. Today, people don't know. If you ask them, why are you anxious? They say, no, that is why I came for you. You please tell me. You are a doctor. You tell me. His anxiety, I have to explain. You see, that is how it is, because they are not aware of it. Who can tell you the best thing that why are you anxious? It's the person himself. Why is he restless? The person himself can answer it, because he knows what happened before. What is the cause that triggers that? He knows what helps it to go away. The answers and solutions and the treatment lie with the person himself. But only because he is not aware, he suffers. Okay? We go to the fifth one. Doubt. Here, O monks, a monk having doubt, he knows I have doubt. When there is no doubt, he knows I have no doubt. Very, very important, this fifth hindrance. Okay? When you have a doubt, you should know, I have a doubt. Let me get this clarified. When I have no doubt, you should say no doubt. Absolutely sure. That is how you should be, Then when you're absolutely sure, no doubt means you're confident. And when you have doubt, even if you want to do the act, you will never be confident. You should know that. He knows how doubt has arisen. He knows how doubt has ceased. He knows there is no future arising of doubt that has been detached. You see, when you know this, that when doubt comes, when doubt goes, when I have a doubt, when I seek the answer, my doubt is gone. I have now no more doubt in this. In future, never will I have doubt. For example, if you have doubts in the practice of Shunya, get them cleared first. Because after you have no doubts, then don't ever have a doubt. Because there is no more doubt, and you should know there is no more doubt. Because when there is no doubt, faith is born. Okay? Automatically you know that. And when you know that in future also, whatever happens, whatever our teacher is going to teach, if it is something to do with Shunya, I don't think so there is any doubt that will ever come. That is how faith is. Okay? Thus, he focuses on Dhamma, observing Dhamma internally. He focuses on Dhamma, observing Dhamma externally. He focuses on Dhamma, observing Dhamma internally and externally. Or he focuses on Dhamma, observing the appearance of Dhamma. He focuses on the Dhamma and observes the cessation of the Dhamma. Or else, he just observes the Dhamma as it is. Only so far as sufficient, again, only so far as sufficient for the insight and attention on Dhamma. This is a line to be underlined. He also focuses and observes the Dhamma also sufficiently, not exerting himself. Okay? So that he can have insight and attention on that Dhamma. He focuses without attachment and not clinging to anything in the world, from this world. Just so, O monks, a monk focuses on Dhamma and observing the Dhamma in 5 hindrances. So giving a good example of how to observe the Dhamma in the 5 hindrances. You see, you should know when it comes, when it goes, how it is now, how it changes. You should just observe it sufficiently to cultivate the insight, okay, so that you can see things clearly. Once you know that it is separate from you, it is something that comes, you know that it can go. So, for example, if anger comes, you see it coming. This person is going to do this. I am going to get angry now. You should know that. Once you know that you're going to come angry, then you should tell them, see, you are now going to do this. You're going to make me angry. Please don't do this. The person still does it. You know now the anger is going to come. You should observe the anger it is. You can manage your anger. I told you last time, don't do it. I'm going to get angry right now. You will still be able to control the anger. Then you know when you do this, it goes away. Better do this right now. You do this and that thing will go away. So you know how to manage your anger by knowing when it comes, when it goes, how to manage it. You know everything. Now you know that this anger comes 100 times when he does this. It comes 100 times when he does that. Okay, it goes when he does this, it comes when he does that. How do I cultivate awareness that it will never ever come? No seed left. You see, somebody poking you here when you're sitting. You say, don't do that. Then again he does. Don't do that. Again he does. Arey, I told you don't do that. Then anger is coming. You know that is coming. The person is doing it purposely. Then you should be aware. Okay, now do. I don't care. Then even if he does, you will not be affected. Because you understood. So this is how you should be able to manage all your hindrances. Once you are able to watch the Dhamma as it is, the arising, the cessation, and even the progress of it. So we always say when you practice Shunya, especially in the yellow belt, we observe through scanning. We see the body, the Dhamma in the body, the pain coming. We see it going and staying for some time. Then automatically the pain goes and it's gone. We know it comes, it goes. A scratching and itching comes here. We know that when I'm seeing something is itching here, but I don't want to scratch. I observe it there. It is itching. It is there, but it goes very intense. After some time, it is gone. Then no more itching. Then another place it will come. Then here it will come. Then again it will come. You will observe, itching is coming, and you're not doing anything. Then it goes. Then your itching will come here. You see, a monkey, what he does, he keeps on doing all this. But a human being should not do that. Human being should watch it come and go. Okay, when there is no mosquito sitting, if there is itching, why should you go and scratch? You should observe. Once you observe it, then you realize that these were just kind of, feelings that the body had produced. And these, they come, they stay sustain for some period, and then they go away. That is how you watch the Dhamma as it is, exerting sufficiently only to the point of cultivating the insight. Okay. So I think that brings us to the end of this session. So to next session, we'll do the 5 skandhas, and this because it was a long session, because we had to do the revision also, and we also had to cover up this, because understanding Satipatthana Sutta is very important, because you apply that in your practice. Otherwise, you think, what is this practice? We are just sitting like this. No. When you're sitting, you observe the body as the body. Okay, how you're sitting, how you have you worn your kimono, how is your seat, where are you sitting, everything okay, all those things matter. Then when you observe the feeling, you observe the feeling as a feeling, even though there is itching, even though there is pain, even though whatever it is, you observe it as it is, the activities and everything. When you are observing the Dhamma, okay, when you're scanning the body, you observe it as it is. Even when you're observing the mind, you observe the mind as it is through your reverse counting, observing. So we are actually working on the 4 foundations of Sati when you practice the Satipatthana Sutta and Sunya together. So very, very important that you practice them together, and you know the Satipatthana Sutta also very well, so that it will help you in your practice of Sunya. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this session. Okay, so thank you so much. See you next week.